Hello, my name is Taylor and welcome back. Today we will be actually doing a bunch of thrift flips. I'm super excited, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so in my hands I have a ton of clothing that I have been thrifting over the past few months. So anytime I go to a thrift store, I really keep an eye out for any patterns, any shapes, the feel of the fabric. I keep an eye out for that, and anything that catches my eye, I grab, put in my cart. And even if it doesn't fit me, I always end up having some kind of idea with what I want to do with it. So the goal with today's video is going to be taking all of these pieces that I've found and giving them a second life. Because unfortunately, even though clothes do get donated to thrift stores, they still somehow sometimes make it to the landfill. So you know what? We're gonna give these clothing pieces a second chance at being worn. So let's go ahead. This next piece is a very long, I'm talking floor length, and I'm short. I'm only 5'1", so it is way too long for me. But I love the pattern. It's actually this really nice snakeskin, and this thrift store I went to actually charges you by the pound. So I think I bought 4 items and paid just under $20 for it, which isn't too bad for thrifted items. But with this dress, I'm either thinking of chopping it and making it a 2-piece set or making it a skirt, but we'll have to see what I end up doing with it. But there's lots of potential with it. Next item, I actually already have clipped because I took my measurement and I didn't want to lose it where it was going to fit me on the waist. Now my sister is so funny. She always says she hates pleather pants. These are not pleather. They're almost jean with a shiny finish on top. I don't know if you can see that there. So I will still be wearing these even though they look like pleather. The only issue with them is that they're a bit too big. So I just need to take them in a little bit, but I really did like them. Now, this next piece is just a summer skirt. This one I purchased from the thrift store that charges you by the pound. Now, when I saw this, I did like the fabric, and immediately in my head I was thinking, could I turn this into a dress or keep it as a skirt? It is too big for me currently, so I would just take it in if I kept it as a skirt, but I think there are lots of cute things that could be done with this item. Recently I went thrift shopping with my sister and we picked out this gorgeous yellow dress. Okay, it definitely has to be from the 80s. You can tell by the tag, it's non-existent. And there are also shoulder pads in this dress. So this is a beautiful dress. It really fits me nicely. It is see-through though, so I would have to get a slip for it when I do wear it, but that's not a big deal. But my plan is to just remove the shoulder pads, and besides that, it's a gorgeous dress, so I don't want to tamper with it too much. But this is a great example of even something that, you know, has shoulder pads or is a bit outdated, you can still alter it to make it fit your style. Now, this dress, let's be honest, it's giving early 2000s. It's not quite the vibe I'm looking for, but when I first saw it, there were a few things that stood out to me. Number one, it is this stretchy jersey material, okay? And also the pattern, I actually really like. You know, on its own, isolated, I think it looks really nice. So my first thought was, how can I turn this into a bathing suit? Obviously, it is winter right now in Canada, so I won't be able to wear it. That I have, I got a bit too excited and already removed the sleeves. The shoulders were way too tight for me. They had no mobility for me, so I took off the sleeves. I seam ripped off the sleeves, and now it is just a long dress, button-up dress, and it's actually a beautiful corduroy fabric. I love it. Alright, so the only alteration that I will be doing to this garment is hemming up the sleeves. So the only thing I have to make sure is that the liner is matched up to the outer layer. When I'm folding over and pinning, I'm going to do a double fold. Okay, 1, 2, just to make sure my hemline is clean and not having a raw edge exposed. So my only other issue that I ran into was I didn't really have any thread that perfectly matched. I think I'm gonna do this gray thread. We will see how it turns out. I mean, I'm thinking it shouldn't be that noticeable. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spin a bobbin and let's get started. Alright, so when you're doing a double hem, sometimes it is just easier to iron down your hemline. That way, you know, you're not struggling to make sure everything's even. If it's ironed down, it's going to stay in place and you know where to make your folds. So I'm going to go ahead and start ironing out my hemlines right now. Alright, so I have just finished hemming up the sleeves on both sides. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next project. Now we are moving on to this dress, and I have already decided that I will be cutting it into some kind of two-piece set. As I was showing before, it already has this really big slit on the side. I'm probably going to sew that up so it's not as high. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to kind of cut the middle where it is, just to make it shorter. Okay. So actually what I decided to do is take out the string that was at the top here, and I'm going to sew it together right here at the shoulders. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna actually make it a bit of a deeper V, and then it's a little big on the sides, so I'm going to take it in on the sides, but the remainder from where I cut off at the skirt, I'm actually gonna leave. Well, for now. We'll try it on and kind of see how I'm feeling, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of play around with it and see what looks good and what I think would turn out nice. I have fully decided I'm cutting this off. This is gonna be a bit of a crop top. Yeah, I just realized I don't think I want this little peplum moment that is going on here. I think I have decided that the top is going to be just a deeper plunging V. I think that will be cute. Alright, so I have just finished sewing the little top. So what I've done is I've sewed the front panels to the back, and I made it a super deep V, and I'm thinking I can wear this when I go out in the summer, or even now with like a cute little leather jacket. And then I'm thinking like a nice little lace bralette underneath. But yeah, this I actually think is going to be super cute. So I am so excited to style it at the end of the video. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to sewing up the bottom part of this item. All right, so what I'm doing now, I actually have this skirt over my body. So I was thinking about it. I was looking at it thinking, I really need another skirt because I have a few maxi skirts that I already wear to work. And then I was just like, oh, what if I just like put it like this? And woo, how did I do that? Okay. And then I thought, what if I just make a super cute little, here, I'll move you guys back, cardigan for the office. Just finished sewing up the cardigan. As you can see, there's those little armholes, but it's honestly really cute. And you know, keep in mind it's gonna be for the workplace, so I still think it looks pretty you know, workplace appropriate. So I am moving on to this yellow dress. And listen guys, the more and more I look at it with the sleeves, they got to go. You know, it's a beautiful silhouette, the dress itself. I don't think I'm going to change that. But first off, these shoulder pads are, listen, if we were in the 80s, obviously they'd be it. But it's just not working for me, so they got to go. Next, I was thinking, okay, should we do a cap sleeve? I might still do a cap sleeve. But I'm also kind of thinking this would look really cute without a sleeve. So I'm just going to sit on it for a little bit. Once I take out the shoulder pads, I'll probably have it back. Alright, so I'm checking back in about this dress. So what I did is I cut just a temporary cap sleeve. I hate it. It is giving 80s. I think it's just this style of dress, and I didn't even realize how much the peplum back makes it really look like from the 80s. So I'm kind of rethinking this whole dress. So I think what I'm going to do for sure, remove the sleeves entirely. I tried to save them. There's just no saving them. And I didn't realize that the neckline is so high. So I'm definitely going to take down the neckline, remove the sleeves. I'm going to see about seam ripping off the peplum back, but it is on there in the seams. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start seam ripping these sleeves off because they are a nightmare. So I have finally finished the yellow dress. I look crazy right now because I have it on over a sweater, but I just wanted to see if the neckline was okay. And one other thing about this dress is it is so see-through. As I mentioned, I'm gonna need to have a slip when I wear it, so that's the only downside. But other than that, as you can see, I took off the sleeves and there was a little peplum on the back, so I cut that off as well. because I did not want that on there, and then I lowered the neckline. So I don't know why this one felt very tiring for me. I think because this material was so thin to work with, so I had to overlock some stitches in places so it wouldn't fray. Yeah, but now that I'm finally done this dress, I can move on. Yay. So I'm gonna move on to the next piece. Alright guys, so the next one is this skirt. Normally I have a few ideas in mind, but I'm kind of drawing a blank. I think maybe because I've been sewing all day, I am maybe having a bit of a hard time. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to take you guys to Pinterest and we are going to explore together, because I'm having a really hard time coming up with some cute ideas. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so what I have decided to do is make a cute vest like the ones I saw on Pinterest. So I just wanted to update you guys on the little vest. It is turning out so cute. All I need to do is I have a strip here that I actually cut off the bottom because it was too long. So this strip is just gonna go on each side just to give me a little bit more room so that it connects, because right now it's just a little far apart even if I did have a tie. And then I'm gonna make little ties and then the vest will be done. So I'm super excited for this one. Alright, so I have been sewing for a very long time, if you can't tell by my appearance, but I have now finished the vest. I've added some strings to the top to be able to tie it. I am so excited for how this is gonna look. So now, what do I have left? I have, one second. I have this dress left, and I have to take in these pants. So let's go ahead. Right, so little update. I'm going snowboarding in a few hours. So I'm trying to get some sewing done before I go snowboarding. Also, my bangs are looking crazy, so I need to kind of cut them before we get started. Oh, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open up this fabric. So we are working with a flat surface. Alright, so little bit of an update. I could not find the lining fabric that I thought I had. It just was not appearing, so that's okay. It's looking like we'll have enough lining fabric to just double up on this fabric. That's fine. Anyway, so with a bathing suit, I have not created my own bathing suit pattern. I will be using just a very old bathing suit bottom that fits me pretty good. I will be making a few alterations. So, oh my god. I'm not working, I don't have a sewing table, but one day when I have a sewing table, you know, I won't have to lie on the floor anymore to cut this. See it, it's blended in, but I have the original shape that I want to use on top of the fabric again because we're going to cut out a liner now. Alright, so my camera did die for a bit, but we are back. And in the meantime, I have pinned both of the layers of the bathing suit bottom. And then I also cut out strings. Now, there are a few different ways you can make strings. Honestly, I was just lazy, so I don't know if you can tell, but I basically cut out the hemming of the original skirt, so then I didn't have to worry about trying to make straps. They were already made, so those are going on the bathing suit. Now the way it's going to work is I'm going to sew it kind of inside out, okay, and then I left this open so that I can pull it through. We are moving on to the top, so I'm just going to do a basic triangle bikini. So I already have traced out the shape and size for the cup. What I'm going to do now is I need to cut out 4 pieces of these. So, because the cups need to be lined as well. And then for the strings for the top, those I will actually have to make because there's no other hemline that I can just cut from the skirt. So you guys will see how I make those straps there. Alright, so now we are going to move on to sewing the straps for the top and side of the bikini top. So there is a trick to sewing straps because what you need to do is you need to sew them the wrong way and then flip them inside out. If you think about it, that is really hard to flip inside out because you need to get this point all the way down here. So the trick is get a long piece of string, okay? Here's my string. The string has to be longer than what you are sewing. You're going to poke the string out of the, there we go. And then you're gonna fold your strip of fabric in half and you are going to sandwich and sew the string. Okay, so as you can see, I sandwiched and sewed the string at the bottom of the strap. And now, when I sew, I will just be pushing the string to the inner corner, okay, and just sewing that closed shut. And then, I will show you how to pull it out. Alright, so now that I have this sewn together, you can see here's my string sticking out the bottom. I have it sandwiched in the top there. So how this is going to work, how you're going to turn your strap inside out, look, you're simply going to pull the string. So I'm pulling the string, and what it is doing is I'm able to slide the fabric along the string and it is gonna come out the other side here. You'll see it soon. It's almost at the end there. So look, it's coming out and your strap is beautiful. No raw edges, and you're just gonna keep pulling. And that is a super simple way to do your straps because look, they are so nice and clean now. Alright, so I've just finished sewing the bottoms. I obviously left a little open so I could turn them inside out. So, what I'm going to do is, I have it all turned the right way. I'm gonna go try this on off camera, see how it fits, make any sizing alterations, and then the bathing suit will be... Alright, so as an update, I tried on the bathing suit bottoms and the bathing suit top, and they fit perfectly. So I am so happy with that. I have 0 alterations to make. That makes my life a lot easier. Now, what I want to do here, I'll set you guys down. Okay. So now what I want to do is I have the top of this dress left. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to cut out the sleeves, cut out this part, and see if I can make just like a flowy, you know, like top for going out or for the summer, or even like a little beach cover-up top. I'll play around with some ideas, but I'm gonna go ahead and definitely utilize this. All right, so I have the pair of pants on that I need to hem, and what I'm actually gonna do in order to hem them, and this is a super easy way to hem your own pants. Okay, so I'm just gonna take them and I'm gonna fold. Okay. I'm gonna mark where I'm gonna stop the seam, but I'm just gonna mark where there. So that means I have to take in this much, and I'm gonna sew on a triangle. So I'm gonna have the point be here, okay? And then if I'm holding this, I'm gonna see how much I may or may not need on the other side. Alright, so I have finally completed all of my thrift flips, and I cannot wait to show you guys the final products. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. Alright, so this thrift flip was originally the skirt, and I turned it into a little vest with a tie at the top. I will say this vest is a super easy flip that you guys can do with maybe an old t-shirt, or like I did with an old skirt, but I love it. I think it's going to be so perfect for the spring and summertime. It kind of gives that 80s feel with the pattern, so I'm really loving it. Yeah, so this one turned out really great. All right, so next we have the top that was originally a dress paired with the pants that I've taken in using the triangle hemming technique at the top at both sides. So these pants fit me really nice now, which is exactly what I wanted. And you guys can do that with any pair of pants, you know, that you find at the thrift store, you know, that are just a bit off by a little bit in the fit. You can easily take them in just by taking in the sides. A super quick technique. And then here we have, as I stated, the top that originally was a dress, and I cut it up into it. And as you can see, I just left in the original elastic that was at the dress. So I kept that in, and that made it easier for me, so I didn't have to hem up the bottom. All right, so this next piece is the bottom half of the skirt, which I transformed into a little work cardigan or cover-up. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I work in an office, so I wanted something that I can wear both at work and outside of work. So I took the bottom half of this skirt and I created this long cardigan. It was actually super easy, as you guys saw, and I think it looks great. All right, so the next item that we transformed was the early 2000s style dress, and we transformed it into a bikini set along with a matching little cover-up top. So I won't be trying on the bikini, but I will let you guys know that tracing one of my old bikinis was a perfect method, and it turned out that this bikini fit really nicely on my body. So that was super nice. And then obviously the top is just a very easy and simple triangle bikini top. So, you know, for any beginners, this is actually a really easy idea or pattern to make. You know, it's simply just 2 triangles, and I traced my bikini bottoms, and it turned out really great. As you can see, here is the cover up top. I'm trying to get in the sunlight. Hopefully it shows it, but basically I took the top part of the early 2000s style dress and I cropped it, and I took out the lining that was underneath it, and I made it into kind of a bikini style cover up. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is a perfect example of how you can easily take a dress that has great shape, great pattern, and simply change around a few pieces to achieve your desired look. So this dress really reminds me of the yellow dress from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I'm obsessed with how it turned out. Still able to leave on the beautiful ruffle down the side, but taking off a few features such as changing up the neckline, taking off really big sleeves and shoulder pads, you know, can really take a dress from the 1980s all the way to today's fashion. Please do ignore the fact I'm wearing blue shorts. I still don't have a slip for this dress, so that was the only downside with this dress, but overall I'm very satisfied with how this turned out. Alright, so this next look again was a very simple change. I took off the sleeves and I just hemmed them, but as you can see, it changes the look and it makes it very versatile. I can now wear, you know, a long sleeve or a turtleneck under here in the winter to work, or in the summer, you know, I can obviously just leave the dress as is and I can have it like that for the office. But you know, I'm really impressed with how this turned out. As you can see, again, this is a super simple thrift flip. It shows how just taking the sleeves off something can really transform it and, you know, allow you to wear it a few different ways. So I am overall super impressed with how this turned out. Alright guys, so thank you so much for joining me for this thrift flip and joining me for another video. It means so much when you guys like and comment and subscribe. I'll also link my Instagram in the description box, so if you guys could go give that a follow as well, that would mean a ton. So I just wanted to say thank you again for watching my video.